welcome to Heather's Healthy Cuisine. I've already started on our vegetables because we're going to be making a savory sausage chowder today with lots of veggies in it. And this is my spin on clam chowder. But of course, we're making it with sausage instead of clams. So when I give you the recipe for this, you can use it as a base for clam chowder. The difference is that I'm going to be using sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes. And then instead of cornstarch that I'll be using to thicken up the creamy part of the soup, we're going to use arrowroot powder instead. And then we're also going to be adding in some kale, which you don't find in traditional clam chowder. So the great thing about soup is, well, it's September, so you're starting to think about soup in the fall. So even though it's warm still here in Northern California, it's fall, so we're gonna start with soup. So what I've got going so far for our chowder is I have 1/4 of a cup of butter in my stock pot here. And then I've already done 4 large carrots, or you can use some of those baby carrots in the package that you have that you usually see in the store. Those are chopped up to make about 4 large carrots. And then 4 celery stalks. And then I have 1 large yellow onion. I'm gonna dice that up. I haven't melted my butter already. I just have the pot right here while I'm dicing, and it's gonna melt while I saute everything so I can make this a little bit easier to prepare my veggies right here by the sink and put it right in the pot. Just makes the prep time go a little bit faster. So that's known as the triad there, your onion, celery, and carrots. Okay, I'm gonna show you how easy it is to do sweet potatoes. Just like regular potato, peel those, and then we're gonna cube these. And you'll notice that a sweet potato is different than a yam. We're gonna get the white flesh. These are gonna bring a little bit of sweetness to the recipe. And they're also gonna make the soup a little bit thicker than a regular potato, actually. So what we're gonna do is cut it in half. Cut it in half lengthwise, that half. And then I'm gonna cut it 3 times and make uniform chunks. Throw it in there, very easy. And that's all you do. I've had 2 kind of long sweet potatoes. Some sweet potatoes are really chubby in the store, so try to get ones that are long, and those are a little bit easier to peel. So this is my first potato. I'm gonna finish my second potato. I'm gonna cover this with a lid and put it on low medium heat on the stove. And then I'll show you how that looks. Let's see how the soup is going. It's been about 20 minutes that it's just been sauteing. Covered lid, and I've just stirred it occasionally, and you can see that the onions are translucent. But once the sweet potatoes become pretty soft, when you stir them around, that they kind of mush to the side, you can kind of test one by just kind of pressing against the side and saying, oh, that looks pretty soft. Then you know you're ready for your next step. Our next step is we are going to add the bone broth, cream, and our spices. I really like this brand. You can find it in the refrigerated section in your meat department. And it comes in turkey, beef, or chicken. This is a 24 ounce. And so we're gonna use 16 ounces, which are 2 cups. And we're gonna pour that into our soup and bring everything to a boil. And you'll notice that I have 1 quart of cream that we're gonna add. And then we're gonna add some bay leaves. You can really add as many as you want, but I'm gonna add 3 Anywhere from 3 to 5 is good. And then about a teaspoon of salt, because you can add some more to taste later. And then about a half teaspoon of black pepper. And like I said, you're gonna bring this to a boil, so bring your heat up to high. One thing I like also about this brand of bone broth is it doesn't have any salt added. And so all it has is filtered water, it's boiled with carrots, and then your meat. The advantage of using a bone broth rather than a chicken stock or vegetable stock is it's gonna have the extra collagen, potassium, and magnesium from the bones. So we'll bring this to the boil and show you what it looks like when it's finished. The soup boiled, you can see it's been boiling and bubbling, and so I turned it back down to low heat. Now I'm gonna thicken it a little bit with arrowroot powder, which looks just like cornstarch. We've used it on another couple of episodes before. So I've put 2 tablespoons in my mixing measuring cup. And just a quick cleanup tip, you know, I use this same measuring cup that I use the broth with. And I'm gonna use my same ladle I've been stirring with the whole time. And I'm just gonna pour a little bit of broth, cream mixture into the arrowroot powder. I've got about 2 tablespoons full. And then just use a whisk and make sure that all of the arrowroot powder is smooth. You don't want any clumps. All right. And then we're gonna pour that into our soup, and this is what's gonna thicken it. This is better to use than cornstarch. Cornstarch doesn't have any nutritional value whatsoever. Arrowroot powder actually has protein in it. Actually also has B vitamins in it, which boosts your immune system. So I always love to use arrowroot powder instead of cornstarch, just for some added nutrition, which is really easy to do. The other thing we're gonna add at this point is the sausage. This is the kind that I like to use. You'll see at the top it says organic, made with 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef. So a lot of times grass-fed beef, all that means is that it's had to have been fed grass sometime in the cow's tenure out there feeding. But grass-finished means that it's actually all through its time of maturing, it's actually been eating grass, and so it's never had any other type of food go through its digestive system. And this is truly really high quality beef here, and you'll see that it's smoked, but it doesn't have any other garbage in it. It's already cooked, which is nice too. And so I've taken, there's 8 in a package, I've taken 5 here, but you can really do as much as you want to make it as beefy or as veggie friendly as you want in your clam chowder or your sausage chowder. And another cleaning tip is that I just used my same knife that I used the veggies with, and I cut these lengthwise and then into chunks. So I'm going to add that in. The other thing that I'm going to add in is some baby kale. And I like using the kind that's already washed and done here, of course organic. You can also use spinach, any other greens, and you just throw it in there. It makes it so easy to get some added nutrition, some added greens in there. And it looks pretty too. You can tear it up or just throw it in there, stir it up. That will heat up and thicken up just like another 5 minutes and your soup's done. But you can let this go as long as you want, and then the next couple days it will get even better with all the spices incorporated. So to go with our savory sausage chowder, we're gonna have these chive garlic biscuits. And look how yummy these look. But these actually, I just brought them out of the freezer. I made a double batch of these last week with a different soup. And you can see that they freeze really well. They look great. So you can use fresh chives. I use freeze-dried chives, which still maintain their nutrient quality, I want to say. So, and then they're very garlicky. So they go really good with the savory soup. And I will put the recipe below so you make sure that you have those. But those are made with almond flour and they're really, really good and moist. Now let's look how the soup turned out. You can't really tell the consistency. Maybe you can, but it turned out really thick. You can see the good greens in there, the veggies. There's plenty of chunky sausage in there, and then I finished it off with some more cracked pepper on the top, and it just tastes so robust and good. Remember to remove the bay leaves before you serve it, and I hope you enjoy this savory fall sausage chowder dinner. Bon appetit.